Do businesses fail? Failing at business isn't fun, but we all do it. Whether the business was run into the ground from poor management, risky decisions, or just bad luck, the end result can be devastating to your bank account and self-esteem alike. As challenging as it is to run a successful business, running an unsuccessful one can be downright soul-crushing sometimes, but it doesn't have to be. We've assembled a list of 10 reasons why businesses fail, and what you can learn from the mistakes made so yours doesn't have to follow the same path. Number 1. Not being dedicated to success as a business owner. The first reason is that the owner of the company not being committed to success. If you are not fully committed to achieving your goals and the goals of the company, then it will be hard to succeed. You need to have a plan for what needs to happen, how it needs to happen, and who needs to do it in order for your business to succeed. This is an internal problem, as you would need motivation and dedication from within yourself in order for this goal of yours to be completed. Sometimes external factors can cause people to lose sight of their goals. External factors such as financial problems or personal tragedies can cause many people to lose focus on their ambitions, which eventually leads them back into being someone that doesn't have ambition or drive any longer. Number 2, they neglected the basics of business. The basics of business are often neglected when starting a business. These are the things that you should be mindful of so that you don't fall into the traps of those who have failed before you. The basic is researching and understanding your market, product, or service before investing any time and money in it. Your product might be great for one consumer but not for another. And if you're trying to enter an already saturated market, then your idea may not be feasible with little hope for profit. It's important to research how long each competitor has been around and how much funding they've received. If you plan on operating in a competitive industry, make sure that there is room for more than one company. It's also important to know what other similar companies are doing. Competitors can help pave the way by showing what strategies work best for them. How are they pricing their products? What marketing campaigns do they use? Number 3, the timing was off. Timing is one of the most common reasons for business failure. You might have started your company at a time when there was an economic downturn, or you may have opened up shop just before an economic boom. Either way, timing can be tricky. But if you want to start your own business, don't let timing be the thing that prevents you from launching. Instead, take a close look at your finances and assess whether now is the right time. The demand wasn't there. Have you ever seen an advertisement and then wondered what product they were even selling? If so, then chances are they weren't targeting their market correctly. Identifying the need in advance and making sure it matches what you're offering will help you avoid this pitfall. Number 4, there wasn't enough capitalization. This is one of the most common reasons that businesses fail, especially in the startup phase. Startups usually don't have any capitalization, which means they need funds to get started. Getting financed from a bank or venture capitalist can be difficult and time-consuming when you don't have a proven track record, so bootstrapping is often necessary for startups. Bootstrapping is using your own money to fund your business until it's profitable enough to attract investors and lenders. If this isn't possible, you might consider borrowing money from family or friends who believe in your idea. Other options are credit cards, loans with collateral like property deeds, 401ks, home equity lines of credit, and crowdfunding sites like Kickstarter and Indiegogo. Number 5, company financial records were unreliable. This is a common mistake that often leads to business failure. If you cannot trust the financial records of your company, then you will not be able to understand how well or poorly the company is doing. Without this understanding, it becomes difficult to make sound decisions that can help keep your company afloat. For example, without knowing the state of our finances, we might have invested in an expensive piece of equipment that would have been too costly for the company and led it into bankruptcy. When maintaining accurate financial records, there are many things that should be considered, such as cash flow, accounts receivable, money owed by customers, net worth, assets minus liabilities, inventory levels, profit margins on sales revenue, and other key metrics. Number 6, government regulations. When starting a business, you have to make sure that you are following the rules and regulations of the government. One way that businesses can do this is by registering their business as an LLC. If you own your own home, then it may be worth looking into using your home as collateral for a small business loan. Also, there are certain licenses that your business must acquire in order to operate legally. For example, if you want to sell alcohol or firearms in your store, then you need a license. There are also more complicated licenses such as permits and certificates depending on what kind of business you want to start. Number 7, the business was expanding too quickly. Expansion is always a good thing, but not when it's done too quickly. When this happens, the business has to spend too much time and money on the new venture rather than focusing on the existing one. This can lead to mistakes that could have been avoided if there was more time spent planning. This mistake is especially common with startups who are undercapitalized and are forced to expand before they're ready. New management doesn't know what they're doing. One of the most critical aspects of running a successful business is hiring people who know what they're doing. A lot of businesses fail because management has changed so often that nobody knows how to keep things afloat anymore. Number 8, the product not delivering on its promise. One of the most common reasons for a business failure is that the product fails to deliver on its promise. It's important to make sure that you are passionate about your idea and that it solves a problem. If you want an example of a company with an amazing product and mission, look no further than Tom's Shoes. For every pair of shoes they sell, they provide one pair to someone in need. But, even more importantly, their marketing strategy focuses on the feeling customers get from purchasing a new pair of Tom's shoes. That feeling is called one for one. With this strategy, people feel great about themselves because they're doing good work by buying these shoes. For every pair of Tom's purchased from their website, they donate a new pair to charity. They want people to buy these products not only because they're good looking but because they do something good as well. Number 9. The competition stepped up their game in terms of price, quality, or service. Many businesses fail because the competition has managed to do something new that attracts customers away from their business. In these cases, it can be a good idea to study what the competition is doing and figure out how you can improve your product or service in order to keep up. Other times, you may want to consider switching industries altogether. For example, if your small clothing store has been failing for years because of increased competition from big retailers like Walmart and Target, maybe it's time to try another industry. Number 10. Other competitors began offering similar products. One of the most common reasons for business failure is the inability to differentiate your product from that of competitors. If you are unable to offer something different, or better than what other companies are offering, customers will simply go elsewhere. When new products come out, oftentimes old ones don't have enough market share and ultimately get discontinued. It's important to stay on top of what your competition is doing and make sure that you can be competitive in some way. With that being said, don't forget to like and subscribe to Capital Investments.